to the Hennessy Performance League booth in the studios. We're going to do a championship edition of the Controlled Chaos podcast. Obviously, tonight we settle a Truck Series champion between four drivers: Shake and Bake 069, King Henry 2K, Captain Jack 30, and Fire Slayer 49. With me in the booth for this hour-long event will be Jake. Hello.
Hello, Joker. Glad to get a chance to be here for this exciting night of action and get a chance to crown one out of three champions this week, so can't wait.
We are also joined by T-Bird. T-Bird, say hello.
What up, everybody? It's championship week. It's going to be a great 2 days of action. Don't want to miss any of it, starting with this show.
And we're also joined by Speed Racer. Michael, say hello.
Yeah, hello guys. Joker's per usual, saving the best for last, getting ready for this exciting championship week, and glad to be on Control Chaos for the first time.
Yeah, so obviously with the Truck Series tonight, if you're in the comment section, leave us a few questions. We'll use that section as a Q&A. But we'll go through all three series, all four championship drivers, so 12 of them. We'll also be joined by possibly one championship driver, an Xfinity of JoJo. We'll see how that goes. But since I'm already on him, this is the 2D version compared to having Big Jim and Ballstick. Shout out to them. We'll start off with King Henry since I'm on him first. He has technically a 25% chance tonight to win the title. He has 3 stage wins, 2 pole awards. He's the only driver in the Truck Series to advance off of points. He has 8 top 5s, and this is his first championship 4 appearance, and he drives for Joe Gibbs Racing. So, Speed, I'll head to you for this one. Since you're his teammate, what's the expectation in the Joe Gibbs Racing camp with him for the race tonight?
I mean, the expectation's pretty obvious. He's made it here. We expect him to do very well. And, you know, Henry, he hasn't had the best of seasons. If you notice lately, as Steve Letarte says, it's better to heat up as the championship race approaches if you've made it here. And Henry has kind of cooled down a little bit, so I'm hoping that doesn't affect him tonight. But we all know that, I mean, it's in the name, folks. King Henry, willing to come down to it, will lay you the stiff arm. And sometimes that's all it takes, so I expect him to do very well.
Yeah, I think we all date back to Las Vegas with the incident with him and Eric's Moose. You know, point style race, still a mix of winning your in and the points, which was a new format compared to last year. We used the chase format, and then season 3 we had the elimination knockout style format. T-Bird, you haven't really been in the racing fold for a few months, but you did race in the Truck Series with King Henry. What do you think of his chances tonight?
I've actually had plenty of experience with King Henry, both in trucks earlier this season and in various other adventures on Heat 5. And I could say he's very consistent as a driver. I'm just nervous if he's going to be able to be the fastest out of everyone tonight in a race where that's the absolute must in his scenario. But if there's anyone that can put on a nice, consistent race and just dominate from start to finish, it might be him, in all honesty.
Yeah, I feel like he has no wins, though. I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, but you know, if he could have that Daniel Hemrick type of story, right, where he hasn't won in his career and then he wins the championship race, so that solves everything, right? So, Jake, I'll head to you for this one. You've been in the booth for multiple races in the Truck Series. What do you think of the 51's chances on how he will race his teammate, Fire Slayer?
Well, one thing I definitely got to point out is that the 51, he's the only driver in the field that has not had any wins this season. But one thing I can say is that, yeah, I mean, this is his first ever championship 4 appearance. I think that the pressure is going to be on him. But the way I feel about this when it comes to him and the other three drivers is that they are feeling pressured, they're feeling a little bit nervous, but I feel like that what they can do is take all the negative that they have and turn it into a positive. I feel like that tonight could be his chance. I mean, I've ran another league with him, and I've seen how aggressive he can be. And if he's got to move someone, he's got to move someone just to be able to get a chance to win that championship.
Yeah, I think he'll have a good chance tonight. Obviously, Joe Gibbs Racing has been an interesting team this season, so we wish him the best of luck. Next, we will move on to the driver who won the Las Vegas race, and that is Captain Jack in the 20. Captain Jack will be the owner of Stewart Haas Racing, basically in 48 hours. So, in his potential final truck start, we don't know where he's going next season. T-Bird, what do you expect? You raced Jack. You guys were competitors at the beginning of the season. You've seen him for a really long time. He's been here for season 2. What do you think of his chances tonight?
Now, Jack, going back to the point made about King Henry, another very consistent driver. He has the added benefit of being a proven winner, has multiple race wins, and was runner-up last season to another one of our championship for this time around. So I think he's going to be extremely motivated. Get the monkey off his back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, season 5 regular season champion, 3 wins. He has 5 wins all time in just all the series. He has 2 wins in Cup, 10 top 5s this season. So no matter what, even if he finishes outside the top 5 tonight, he will have a 50% top 5 ratio in the 20 races, which is pretty tough with the amount of competition that has come in and out, the hot seats as well. Speed, I'll come to you with this next question. You saw how the events unfolded at Bristol with his teammate. Do you think there's going to be any sort of team strategy there with Freedom, with Fireslayer? What do you think of that?
I don't think so. Fire and Freedom, from what I heard, anyway. Talked it out earlier in the week, and they seem pretty cool now. But one thing I will definitely be sure that on is Jack. You spoke about the competition, right? Who is the one person in this series Jack has struggled to beat? It's the driver of the number 2 GMS truck. And Joker, I know you're expecting him to repeat tonight. It's going to be hard to beat him, but Jack can do it. He's proven he can.
Yeah, he is the season 4 winner here. If we remember, date back to that race in the Chase. He won that race. So, yeah, I think he has a good shot. Former teammate of mine in Hendrick Motorsports in the 24. Won a race there. Won a race in CGR. Remember in season 3 in that big Daytona finale and that chaos that came after that. So, Jake, I'll come to you with this last one. Do you think... How do you think he can win the race? Do you think it's going to be a strategy call, fuel mileage? Some truck races have had that fuel mileage finish, New Hampshire, to name one recently. How do you see this race being won for the 20?
Well, I mean, right now for the 20 is he's going to have to get right in front of Shake and Bake. I mean, I think it was last season where we called the race at Las Vegas, and the only situation was that the field was getting involved in Jack's way. This time, though, I really think he needs to go with some sort of strategy. He's faced Shake and Bake a couple of times for the championship, and he's lost. But I really feel like that this time could be his night. So I really feel like that when it comes to this, it's going to be, to answer your question, Joker, I think it's going to be strategic, in my opinion.
Okay. We will now move on to the second JGR driver. The only, well, correction, there are 2 teams that have 2 drivers in the Final 4. It is Fireslayer 49. A veteran in the league. He's been here since season 2, just like a lot of the guys in this group. Speed, you were there when the event happened. do you see any sort of rivalry brewing between him and the 40 or even anyone else? Moose felt wronged by the way he was raced, or even some of the other people in that truck race as well didn't really like the actions of the 18. So what do you have for him tonight?
I mean, Fire. I mean, he does how he races people how he thinks he's being raced, and two of the guys you mentioned, he's already made up with Freedom a little bit. And Brian, we all know he's a pretty understanding, lovable guy. I don't think he's gonna do anything to lose that tonight. As of for Fire odds tonight, though, I mean, I talked about Henry and how he's kind of cooled down as of late. Well, Fire is the exact opposite. Fire, two of the last 3 or 4 races has been contending for, if not winning, the race. And he's got a couple wins this season, which Henry doesn't. And he's also got that all-important Cup Series experience. You mentioned he's been here for a long time. I think he has a significantly better chance than Henry, but it's still going to be tough to beat Jake and Bake.
Yeah, those wins came this season at Auto Club way early in the season than Watkins Glen, which locked him his spot into the Final Four. He has 4 wins all time. Remember, he won that season 3, I think season 4, Daytona 500, and then 1 in season 2 at Iowa. That was when he was on CGR, now known as Trackhouse Racing. He's 9 top 5s this season, 1 less than Jack, and then this is also his first Championship 4 appearance in the Truck Series. He believed he made the playoffs in season 4, made it in season 3, but now he has a chance to win the championship. So now, Jake, I'll come to you with this next question. Have you talked to Fire Slayer? We know the relationship between you guys. You guys have been friends for a long time. What's the words of encouragement that you can give the 18?
Yeah, you are absolutely correct on that. I've known Fire Slayer outside of Hennessy for a very long time, and I got a chance to talk to him today. He is feeling a bit nervous, but one thing I can tell him is that, just this guy just clear comms, focus on getting a chance to win that championship, because Fire Slayer is one of those drivers that has worked so hard to get to where he is, and of course he has his ups, he has his downs, but most importantly, the best advice I can give to Fire Slayer is do not let all the hate, all the negative comments get to him. Focus on getting a chance to win that championship. He's been involved with this league since season 2, like you mentioned it, and he's worked so hard to get to where he is. And I can honestly say, just now's the time to focus. Now's the time not to worry, not to panic, not to do anything. Just to focus on winning that championship tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Last question, we'll move to T-Bird, and then we'll... Ooh, I don't want to get copyrighted, so let's not continue that. So, T-Bird, I'll come to you with this one. You've had... Fire Slayer is also another veteran to you. You've raced with him in multiple different leagues, MRL, for example. What do you think of his chances tonight?
I want to say this. If at any point tonight that this race comes down to fuel mileage or tire saving, Fire Slayer easily the best chance out of the Final Four to get that championship. Just knowing how good he is at this stuff. Had Auto Club earlier this year, won that race off of fuel mileage. He is really good at that sort of thing. That's where I think his chances are best. But at the same time, he's also got a lot of pace in just regular old driving till you get to the end. So I think either way he's in for, he has a good chance of winning no matter how this race fits out, which is probably his best advantage. Is where he could take this race anywhere he wants it, basically.
Yeah, so good on him. Good luck to him as well. Trying to be the oldest driver to win the Truck Series championship, because I think every champion is under the age of 21 with Shake and Bake, and then in season 2 with Wicks. No, Wicks is definitely over the age of 21, but now we will move on to the final driver, and that will be my teammate in, if I can find the number, Shake and Bake 069. Shake and Bake was in the Truck Series for the past 2 seasons. As we all know, he won the Season 3 championship, finishing second to GTS Predators at Las Vegas, and then won the Season 4 Truck Series championship in the chase style format. So he's done this in multiple formats, 2 championships on his name, can be the only driver tonight with 3 titles, which is over Heredia, Riley, big names in the league. 4 wins this season and 11 starts, and he has 15 all-time truck wins, which leads the field. So, Jake, I'll come to you with this one. Is this does Shake have anything to lose tonight if he doesn't get the win or the title?
Not really. Whenever you think about Truck Series, you think about Shake and Bake. Shake and Bake, who is a 2-time champion. If he does not win this championship tonight, I don't think that he loses anything because for as long as he's been doing this, he's been incredible with the amount of different formats he's put himself through, and of course everything he's done. I don't think that there's anything to worry when it comes to Shake and Bake because at the end of the day, though, I mean, you said it best. He's a 2-time champion with Heredia, and if he doesn't win, then at least he's got something to be able to prove, and yet hopefully we can see what happens for him next season.
Yeah, he was also the first driver to lock himself in. Remember that fuel mileage that we talked about in New Hampshire? He won that race. So, Speed, I'll come to you with this one. Is there pressure on the 2? He said this isn't his best racetrack. You were a former teammate of his. Do you think there's any pressure on the 2 tonight?
Well, I mean, for sure, to be the only driver to three-peat, and I also think it has a little bit of pressure because I think this has got to be the biggest competition he's had in this format as well. Because if you recall, I think the last time he had to fight for one in this format, he didn't have to go against 3 other guys with at least some sort of, like, I don't know if Henry has Cup experience per se, but I know Fireslayer is a proven Cup winner. I know Jack is a proven Cup talent at the very least. I think he's actually won some Cup races himself. So, to answer your question, I think Shake definitely has a lot of pressure, but we know Shake can handle the pressure. So that'll be interesting to see.
T-Bird, come to you with this last one. You were his teammate, I believe, at some point. I might be wrong on that one, but you were his teammate in the 23 while you were in the 2. I hope the internet doesn't cut out on me, but what do you think of his chances as a teammate to teammate? What words of advice do you have for him?
He's just got to stick to his own guns. He is probably, in terms of like raw pace, he's probably the paciest driver in trucks. And he's proven that. He has the most wins, back-to-back championships, can make it 3 tonight. And I mean, like the thing is, you're going to have the target gun on your back. You're the king. It's now your throne to defend again. So you just got to go out there, do what you've been doing for multiple seasons now, and just do it again. You have to approach this as just another race if you're Shake, in all honesty.
Yeah, just a lot on the line. We'll now move to our Q&A. I hope people have put a bunch of questions down in the comment section.
Yeah.
Jake, you have the floor.
So there hasn't been much questions, but yeah. So here's a good one from Killer. He asked, "How will the four drivers race the non-playoff drivers?"
Yeah, I'll go with that one first since I haven't really answered any questions. Well, based on what I've heard, I think teammates will play a big factor, right?
Yeah.
Jack has a good teammate that will be up front in Freedom. JGR has good teammates in Captain Dead Dad and Nike Boy Will. And then you can't count out Shake and Bake's teammates in Eric's Moose and Andy. Remember, Andy ran really well at Bristol last week, so I think they'll play a factor. I hope they don't. I hope they have enough respect, but they'll probably do whatever it takes to make sure a teammate wins it and make sure driver they like win it as well.
Yeah. As far as my side of things, I mean, even though it's like Penske who not going to be in the playoffs, I know that they're still going to try to go for a win. But deep down inside, I feel like that if I was a non-playoff driver and if I see a playoff driver behind me, just get out of the way. Don't get involved into a situation because that can pretty much ruin their chances of winning the championship. So if I was any of the non-playoff drivers, just get out of the way. Don't get involved. Yes, I understand you want to win, but at the same time, you got to think about what's happening tonight.
T-Bert?
I think if you're a non-playoff driver, I think the one thing you have to understand is that if you get moved by someone fighting for a championship, they're fighting for a championship. Like, don't get butthurt over it. You could get them back like next season and like at some point. Don't get butthurt tonight and try to go for revenge if they move you tonight. That's my thing. It's just like, all right, they gotta go win a championship. Leave them for now.
Yeah. I do want to point what T-Bird said is that you have to control your emotions, regardless if you're a playoff driver or not. Control your emotions, especially with how big tonight is.
Yep. Speed?
I mean, yeah, for sure. And T-Bird won't say this himself, but I know it's in the back of his mind while answering this question. We all remember Las Vegas last season in Xfinity when the certain driver named Always Eric kind of did some things to T-Bird final few laps while racing for a championship with Riley. I'm not gonna state.
Well, actually, glad you brought that up because that exactly proves Jake's point. Is that I mean, both sides have to control their emotions because at the end of that race, I probably let my emotions go, and then
not happy.
Yeah, and it probably costed me even more just letting my emotions go like that in that championship fight. So I think both sides have to really control their emotions tonight.
Indeed, but
Well, yeah.
to continue with my point, Always Eric didn't gain any respect from anybody after that either. So I think it's in every driver's best interest to just show the respect, and they don't have to exactly get out of the way. Like Wormule last Wednesday, I mean, he wasn't necessarily in the way per se of the playoff drivers. They were more in the way of each other, and Worm just kind of passed them both, drove on by, and won the race. So I think Worm proved that you don't have to necessarily be in the way to win the race, and I think a lot of these drivers will just have more respect.
Yeah. Real quick, Joker, we have a lot of great questions, but the one that I just now see that Herrera just sent is that this is a really good one. Will King Henry move 3 contenders for the championship?
I feel like
Is he shy?
I feel like if it's to the 2 and the 20, yes, but I don't know if it's gonna be he's gonna have that same mindset to the 18. It's a teammate, but I don't know if teammates go out the window when you're racing for a championship, right? We haven't really had that situation in HPL before, so let's hopefully not, find out, right?
Yeah. T-Bird?
I feel like Henry's one of those drivers that doesn't like want to move people out the way unless he absolutely has to. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if he moves all 3 of them twice in a row.
Yeah.
Speed?
I don't think he is here, but that is okay. We are 25 minutes in. We'll now switch to our Xfinity series portion. I'll give a little 30-minute or 30-second break to everyone. Get a drink of water, take a break for a little bit, and then we'll be back. Okay, we'll now move on to the Xfinity series. To say the least, this season has been dominated a lot by the Heredia God and the person who just joined the party, JoJo Siwa. I believe they have combined 10 wins in the series, so that is half no matter what. The 4 drivers competing for a championship will be the Heredia God, Jackson Altman, his teammate, Killer XL, and JoJo. So we're joined by both of them now, and we'll just use this portion for both of them as the Q&A, like a personal interview before tomorrow's main event. So, as we all know, we would like to point out that the 4 drivers in the Xfinity have stated that they all will be starting towards the back. So, that'll be interesting to see who gets through first. And good luck to all of them. So, we'll start off with the 22, if he is here. And, Heredia, you know, this isn't your first rodeo. Been here since season 2. What do you think it will take to win this title and be a champion?
Wreck everybody I see.
Okay.
All right, now, for this playoff format, I think staying clean, not having like wrecks or mistakes or glitches or anything to ruin a race, especially late into a race, like what happened previously, like in New Hampshire or whatever. So just staying clean, staying out front. Hopefully, I can, come from the back hardcore style and maybe get the win, maybe get the championship. That's what we need. We need that missing ring in Xfinity Series. That's what we're looking for.
Joker, you're on the blue screen. Remember?
I should be fine, alright?
You're on the blue screen.
No, I'm good.
Your thing, your thing isn't.
Yeah, I'm good.
Fast forward all the way speed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, T-Bird, what do you have for Heredia?
For Heredia, it's basically, it explains itself. He's won 7 races this year. Well, you've run 7 races if I'm talking to you, but anyways, I'm being scatterbrained right now. Give me a moment.
Okay, we will move on to Jake.
Heredia, as a former Cup champion, are you going to go into this race the same mindset that you have with your other Cup championships?
Well, maybe a little different, say last season, but like I know I have a experience. I think I've been in the Final Four every single time. I'm pretty sure. So I have a lot of experience. I at least know what to do in these kind of pressure situations. So I think that experience will really help me into this final race. So yeah, let's look at that.
T-Bird, are we ready?
Alright. Alright, as I was saying, like, Heredia, you've obviously won a whole lot this year, and we're going to a track where you are very fast at. Do you, like, feel any pressure to, like, just, like, keep up, like, that high standard and almost, like, do you feel like you have to, like, blow out the field if you win this race? Like, or is any win going to be a good win for you?
Well, as long as the championship is in the final race, then I think it will satisfy me. But I don't know if I will blow up the field. I think JoJo, Willer is and Jackson, of course, they're gonna be really up there, battling me, and they're gonna see some strategy for sources for stage 3 Homestead. So we might see a mix-up, but I want to say I will blow away the field. But we will see. Hopefully, I get a championship.
Speed.
As long as you don't.
Sorry, T-Bird, go.
As long as you don't pull what I did last season and shift down in the first gear and a manual caution, I think we'll be fine.
Oh, I didn't even know what happened. Oh, yeah, you know what? I do know what happened. Pain.
Speed.
Personally, you said you're going to start at the back.
Yeah, you gotta put your big boy voice on.
Can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
They said they can't hear you.
That's nice to you. You know what? Let me just turn my microphone
We
volume.
need to go right here.
Okay, well, let's not do that.
All right, now you guys get some lovely
Oh
echo.
my.
Now,
Okay.
as we
okay.
were saying, Heredia, you said you were going to start at the back, but personally, I just want to know, are you really going to allow some guy like Speed Racer or some guy, just some other guy like masopes, to really win the pole and block traffic in the championship race?
I mean, I don't know if you guys are okay. Maybe you. I don't know if people really block like hardcore, especially like the final four. Hopefully not. If you are, just expect to get into the wall, inside wall, maybe death. But yeah, I mean, Gym
Surely.
4. I mean, it's just start to back. I mean, you got 3 stages, a long race, and like anything could happen. I could go to the front and say stage 1, stage 2 around there, and just start off the pack. Maybe I don't know. You'll see. Just whoever has the best luck through traffic will probably win up there the race.
All right. Well, Vero said from Heredia, I'm going to have to go eat here in a minute, so hopefully I come back before the stream ends. If I don't, I'm sorry. And good luck to the Xfinity guys, and Godspeed, and hopefully I'll end up killing you tomorrow.
Okay. We'll now move on to JoJo, so we can let him get on his Modern Warfare journey. JoJo, as we all remember, has been here since Season 1, in the 8, in Xfinity, the 24, the 8 in Cup. I believe he hasn't run for SHR yet in the Cup Series, but I believe he's run on every team besides Roush. Oh, you were in the 10. Okay, thank you for telling me that. But 3 wins on the season at Daytona, Pocono, and then last week in New Hampshire. Do you feel like you have the most momentum heading into the race?
Well, I said this yesterday. I think, me personally, I think Jackson has the best momentum. Everyone doubted him at the beginning of the season. Didn't really think he had a chance to make the Final Four, and here he is battling for a championship. So, personally, I don't think, being honest, I don't think I have the most momentum, but I am confident still.
That's good. T-Bert?
Just quick to point out, Killer did mention that he couldn't hear JoJo. I don't know if you want to check that before we continue or not.
You can't hear me? Okay, hold on.
He can. It was just your mic's a little lower.
Is that better?
Okay.
All right. So, my question to you, JoJo, is how aggressive will you be in a scenario if it's you versus Heredia, the two most dominant Xfinity drivers all season? Are y'all going to race each other with respect, or is there going to be a little bit of bumper action there?
I'm sure he would say the same thing. There'd definitely be bumper action if it's late in the race, but I'm not gonna wreck him. I'm not gonna give his chances away, I guess. Like, if there's 5-6 laps to go and I think I need to get by him, I'll try and get by him, but I'm not gonna wreck him. I think we respect each other plenty enough to pass each other without penalizing our chances.
Yep. Jake?
For someone who's been with this league since season 1, what's the mindset going to the championship race tomorrow?
Mindset is to win the race, honestly. If I win the race, then I'll win the championship. But I also need to remember to not get stressed, get frustrated. It is a 3-stage race, just like every race this season. Just race my race and have a chance at the end.
Yeah.
Just
What were you going to say, T-Bert?
just real quick, I just wanted to mention that there were races with no stages, but that's just me being a butt.
Yeah, mute that guy.
Yeah. Next, we will move on. JoJo, you're free to go if you would like. But next
Good
we
luck
were...
tomorrow, everyone, and today.
Yes. We will now move on to Killer XL in the 11. Same thing with Captain Jack, his teammate. He moves to Joe Gibbs Racing as the owner. in 48 hours time. So Killer, similarly to King Henry, been here for a long time, but also doesn't have a win so far this season. So Jake, I'll come to you with this one first. Uh, does Killer have what it takes to win the race? We've seen where he's been able to improve his racing and his step up his game when the playoffs begin. Um, do you see him having to win this race to win the championship?
Oh, hands down, hands down. Now, I don't really get a chance to talk to Killer, but the one thing I can say is, as someone who's been out there with the field, he has the chance to be able to catch up to not only Jackson Allman, but also to catch up with Heredia God as well. I believe that there are going to be times where he is going to be faster than Heredia. So, in my opinion, yes, he has the chance, he has the speed, he has the shot. So, in my eyes, I mean, Killer, Killer's got something to prove tomorrow, and we'll see how he can be able to pressure. We'll see how he can be able to handle his race come tomorrow night.
T-Bert?
I raced with Killer, and he was probably one of the bigger rivals I had season 4. And he's just another one of those guys that's just very consistent. He if there's two constants in his life, is death and Killer in the top 5 at the end of the race. And it's just like going back to King Henry. Is just like, will he be able to get up to the lead and win the race? Because I think that's what exactly is going to have to happen in order to win this championship.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't think he's gonna be able to win on pace. I think he's gonna have to get some sort of strategy call, whether it's fresher tires, a 2-tire call at the end of the race, a late race restart to jumble things up. But maybe we'll see. He has a good group of guys behind him: Jim, Bostic, and Mason, who just joined the party now. Good group of guys over there. Jim's really good here. There's a wheel, Killer's on a wheel, Jim's on a wheel, so he can provide that helpful tips and tricks, as you would say. So, yeah, good luck to Killer. And we will now move on to the final driver in the Championship 4, one of the more polarizing in the series, and that is Jackson Altman in the 36. So, similarly, but, well, can't say similarly, after the Glen, got his first career win in HPL at Watkins Glen after the pitch strategy call got him to the lead as Mason leaves the party. What do you see from him? The rivalry between him and the 54. A lot of people, the 19 doesn't really like him as well. The 18 doesn't either. So what do you see with Jackson starting in the back? Do you think that'll hurt him more than everyone else, Jake?
Not one bit, no. Same thing with Heredia. This entire time he's always been really fast, and yeah, he's had some haters in there, especially with a couple incidents. But I really feel like that there's no pressure on him, even if he does start in the back. So I really feel like that he has a chance to be able to improve himself, working his way up to the front, and not only that, but hopefully to get a chance to win this race tomorrow. So I'm not really worried about Jackson Altman because of how fast he can be.
Yeah, I feel like he has a good chance tomorrow. One of the guys that I'd say definitely has been the most improved this season. We all know him. He was a Truck Series driver last year. And I think just being on a team with Heredia, on the same team, in the same series, practicing with him has really improved his driving a lot compared to the previous seasons in Season 3 at Darlington. But we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, on a realistic note, good job for him to make it this far. And we wish the best of luck. T-Bird, I'll go to you with this next question. How do you see, this is also connected to the Q&A, how do you see Speed Racer racing the 36 next week, or tomorrow?
I think Speed knows more than anyone that there's just some things that you don't mess around with certain things at certain times. I think Speed knows that if he wants still get at Jackson and pick another day. This was going back to my same point earlier. It's just if you're not in the playoffs, I don't think it's worth your trouble getting involved with the playoff drivers today or tomorrow, really. So I think they'll be fine for tomorrow.
Yep. Okay. Well, we'll use this final Q&A question, or we'll use this to actually pick our champions, because we didn't do that for trucks. So Jake, who's your pick to win the Xfinity Series championship?
My pick as far as tomorrow, it's going to be Heredia God. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Heredia's been the fastest. He's been really incredible this entire season. And I'm not saying this just because of my experience with Heredia, but how long I've known him. I just really think he's really fast. So tomorrow, give me Heredia. I mean, regardless, it's going to be a great race tomorrow.
Yep, T-Bert.
I'm sorry, I had to quickly take care of something. So what was the question?
Who's your pick?
My pick for tomorrow, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Jackson Altman upsets the championship because he's just like, he's the one person out of any like championship in any of these 3 series that will race with nothing to lose. And I think sometimes you just need that edge to win a championship.
Yep, and then I'll go with Killer. I think, him in his final start for CGR, this is the only team he's been on and drove for. I think it'll be cool to see someone like him win a title. Same with JoJo as well. Both veterans in the league, been here for a long time. So I'm going to go with Killer on this one. And now we will move on to our cup section, and we'll also, again, give another 30-second break for the people in the booth to get a drink of water, grab a snack or something, and then we'll be back. Okay, we are back, and we will now move on to the Cup Series. I am in this series, so I will transition to Jake for the Cup section.
Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have our Cup Championship happening tomorrow night, and let's go ahead and get into tell you guys who's going to be competing for a championship. So, we have the 48 of AlwaysJokerr. We have the 18 of Fistbuster. We have the 6 of YB Beta. And I believe we have, the 42 of Brody. The 42 of Brody, they'll also be competing for a championship. Real quick though, since we do have Joker in the booth, I'll go ahead and ask you this. So, Joker, this is not your first time competing for a championship. You've actually been a champion, I think, back in season 2 or season 3, correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, you've had your experience being involved with these championship races. What's the mindset? What's your main focus going to be for tomorrow night's race?
I think it's going to be trying to focus on the long run pace of the car, right? And trying to make sure you keep your track position. There's been the big debate about normal and low draft, and low draft really becomes a track position race. So trying to be aggressive, trying to keep that track position. Luckily, this track has multiple grooves, so if you get passed on either the outside or the inside, it's not the end of the world, right? But, use both of those lanes as an option and try and stay up front.
T-Bird, do you have any questions for Joker?
My lone question is, we've seen at times throughout the season that you and Fistbuster have gotten at each other. Is any of that still lingering for this championship race, or y'all over your differences, and you're just going to just have a nice clean race for this championship?
I mean, no, I won't say it's finished, and hopefully that'll be done tomorrow, right? Either way it goes. Yeah, I haven't really thought about that, but I did say last week that I did have bills to pay and checks to deposit, and I've made that clear with everyone racing, so, we'll see how it goes.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and get a chance to talk about once again, another driver who will be competing for a championship. Someone who is not only a Season 1 veteran, just like AlwaysJokerr has, but also a man who's been in the Final Four multiple times, but has not yet succeeded to win a championship in Brody. And T-Bar, I'm going to ask you this. So, for as long as Brody's been involved with this league, and since we're going to Homestead, what do you think he's going to have to do to be able to get a chance to win tomorrow? Do you think it's going to be either strategic? What do you think Brody's going to have to do to win tomorrow?
I think if you just look at everyone objectively, I think Brody is probably like the one that everyone's going to be saying, "Oh, he's the underdog in this race." Like, not to like count him out, because Brody is a very good racer in his own right. But I think he's going to have to have the race of his life against three of the best in the entire league, going for a championship.
All right, very well said. Well, let's go ahead and move on now to the number 6 of YB Beta. He got a chance to earn his way in by a win at New Hampshire last Thursday, which, by the way, before the race, he was below the cutoff line, and later on that night, he got a chance to win this race. Not only is he the only Roush going to try to win a championship race, but this will also be down once the last time to be an owner. So, T-Bird, let me ask you this. So, for someone who is representing Roush, like Beta is, there's a lot of things he wants to get a chance to accomplish, but not only that, but for him to get a chance to win a championship. What do you think? How much pressure do you think is going to be on Beta come tomorrow night?
I think there's a lot of pressure being the lone member of your team going for any sort of championship, and I think but I think he is one that responds to pressure well. We obviously saw that last week at New Hampshire, winning that race and make it to this point. So I mean, I don't think he's going to be faced by it. I think he's on pure pace alone. He's one of the fastest guys there, and I think one thing that we haven't really touched upon yet is the track itself at Homestead. I think he'll be one of the guys that will really be able to use multiple lines of that track to benefit him.
All right, and last but certainly not least, another JGR driver that will get a chance to compete for a championship, and that is the 18 of Fistbuster. And last year he was the runner-up after the battle that he had. He's had a lot of great battles, but this season he's had to take advantage of the new team with almost 10 wins this season. There, T-Bird. Come tomorrow, do you think he's going to get a little bit aggressive in order for him to win a championship tomorrow?
I think so. I mean, you can't really argue that because he did lose a championship last season. But you could argue, but he'll be hard pressed if he goes runner-up 2 years in a row. Let's just say that, like, he definitely, more than anyone in any of these championship races, he does not want to be second. He wants to be first. He wants his championship. Probably one of the most. Yeah.
Very well said on that. But yeah, something I can tell you is that for ever since I met Fistbuster, I can see how much he strives to be able to be up there, to be able to get a chance to win. He's had some remarkable battles, last season and this season, and I can assure you that he does not want to get a chance to finish second once again. because I know he'll focus on the chance to win that championship from tomorrow night. You know what? Since I know Joker's gonna be rooting for himself, but between the both of us two, we're gonna ask you this though tomorrow: who is walking out as the Season 5 Cup champion?
I'm. I have to say, Fish. Just the motivation's there, the talent's there, the resume's there. He's odds-on the favorite. I just don't see how he lets this one slip.
Yeah. Yeah. Very well said. When it comes to me, though, you know what? There's two guys I'm keeping an eye on, and no, three actually. Not only with Joker, Fistbuster, but also Brody. To me, I want to root for Brody because it's not only just because I've known him for the longest, but because I see so much in Brody that he has the ability to win a championship. He has the chance to be able to come win a championship. Which tomorrow night it's gonna be a great night. Make sure if you're watching this live, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget the chance to check it out. Come tomorrow night, following our coverage of the Xfinity race. Joker, I'm going to bring it back to you. Before we do, I just want to get a chance to say on behalf of myself and T-Bird and everybody, thank you and all the admins for all that you've done this entire season. We've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but this has been a remarkable season, and it's hard to believe that the end is finally coming on our way to end Season 5.
Yeah, can't believe, we started in June, I believe, and it's already November. Time's flown by for everyone, but, thank you. We did this in an hour, which is what I wanted to accomplish, and we did just that, right? So,
Yeah.
championship race in the booth for the Truck Series Championship will be Jake and Speed. I believe there might be another person in there, but I just don't know yet. Truck Series Championship interviews will also come in about 2 hours' time. That's where you will get to talk to the championship for themselves and see how their mindset is before the championship race. We will also have interviews tomorrow before the Xfinity and Cup Series Championships again, and we'll see you guys then in about 2 hours. So for Jake, for T-Bird, and for Speed, I am AlwaysJokerr, and thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.